Bree with Califia Candle Company. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be pouring a candle vessel using a material that is completely new to me. If you've been watching my videos for a while now, you probably know that I currently use Cementol to make all of my candle vessels. And I've been using that material since I first started doing this, so a little bit over 2.5 years now at this point. And I really only have a few complaints about Cementol. The first being the amount of time that it takes before I'm able to demold my vessels. Typically for me, it takes anywhere between 3.5 to 4 hours before I can demold. And the second complaint is every once in a while getting those difficult to work with bags, which for me has been happening quite a bit lately. So I've really been having to use that flow control. So other than that, I do think it is a great material to work with. It is affordable and easily accessible for the most part in the United States. But really that long demolding time is what sold me on trying out this product that I have here today. So the product we'll be trying out today is Hydrostone, and supposedly it has a 30-minute demolding time, which could be a total game changer. So I'm really excited to test it out. Aside from the short demolding time, I do see a couple other pros with it already. The first being that it already has a white base to it. So for me, I like to add a little bit of titanium dioxide to my Cementol to help lighten it and kind of get a whiter color. And it still doesn't ever end up being white, but it's just a lighter gray than regular Cementol with nothing added to it, I guess. So with the Hydrostone, it already is white. So if you're trying to achieve a white vessel, you don't even have to add anything to it, which I think is awesome. And then also with it having that white base, it's gonna make pigments pop more. So if you are someone that likes to add colored pigments to your vessels or whatever you're making, the colors will appear more vibrant with Hydrostone because it has that white base and not gray like Cementol does. Now, as far as the cons go, I really can only say one right now because I haven't actually used the product yet, but that would be the cost. It definitely is pricier than Cementol and also a little bit harder to find in the US. So I didn't see any local suppliers near me that carried it. So I actually, hello, can I help you? I actually ended up ordering it from Canada, so the shipping was a little bit pricey as well. So that's the only con that I see at this point in time, but enough blabbering. Let's go ahead and get into the garage and try out the Hydrostone. So before we get started, we do have a couple calculations to figure out. It would be helpful to know how much Hydrostone and how much water we need for this particular mold. And I used to dread trying to figure this out, and a lot of the time I would just kind of guess and eventually be able to dial it in and get the exact amounts I need. But Jay from Up Vibe Candle just released a video, I think it was yesterday, showing a method to calculate exactly how much of each ingredient you need for any given mold. So I so appreciate him sharing his knowledge with all of us, and I will leave that video linked down below. If you haven't checked out his channel before, I highly recommend it. He has a lot of informational videos that you would most definitely enjoy and find helpful. And the mold that we'll be using today is actually new to me. This is from Maker Shapes, and it is their 3-inch cylinder mold, the small one, so the 8-ounce one. And I've really been enjoying these molds. It is by far the easiest demolding experience I've ever had with any mold. The silicone is really flexible, but still that amazing quality. And what I do love about these is that instead of having that plastic shell around the outside, they actually have these little plastic rings that you just put in the bottom here, and that is what helps keep that round shape. So I really have been enjoying working with these, and I'll show you guys how the finished result looks in case you're curious. So again, it has that cylinder shape to it, and I really have just been loving the look of that. It also has a really thick wall, which I really enjoy too. So anyway, that is the mold we'll be working with today. So what I'm gonna do is place this on my scale and we're gonna zero it out, and I'm gonna change the unit to grams. And then I'm just gonna add water to the mold until it gets all the way to the top. I don't want to overflow it, but I just want to have it right where I would stop filling it. All right, so I think that is pretty good. And we have 183 grams. Okay, so I've emptied out the water, and then I just did the calculations here. And these are the final numbers for our mold. So 298 grams of Hydrostone and 98 grams of water. So I'm gonna go ahead and get those ready and we'll be back. Okay, so I have my 98 grams of water here in the bowl, and then I have 298 grams of the Hydrostone here that we're going to slowly add to the water. So I'm just gonna kind of slowly add that in. I might actually use a spatula here just to kind of help it. I know Jay said to sift it in his video, so I don't know. I'm trying to find the best way to do that. I guess that works. And then we're not gonna stir it. We're gonna let it sit for 5 minutes and form a dry lake bed effect. And then once it's done that, it will be ready to mix up. All right, it has been about 5 minutes, and you can see it did form a dry lake bed there. So we're gonna go ahead and start mixing this up. Oh my gosh, it's so smooth. This is really satisfying. So far, a lot easier to work with than cement all, especially the bags I've been getting lately. I've been having to use that flow control so much lately. They've just been so difficult to mix. So this is so much easier. And I don't really see lumps at all. So that is also a plus. All right, I have my mold here on the vibrating machine. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn it on low. And we'll just pour it in. I probably don't even need the spatula. See, I'm so used to needing that with my cement all lately. So let's just pour it on in. Use it to get this last bit out. All right, I think that is good. And you can see there is hardly anything left in the bowl, so that formula worked out really well. So now I'm just going to tap, bounce it a couple times. I do see some bubbles coming up here. All right, I think that is good. All right, it has been actually about 35 minutes and it still feels warm, so I'm a little hesitant to demold it because with my cement all products, I like to wait till they're nice and cool before I demold, but let's just see what happens here. Let's start rolling it down. Oops, forgot to take out that little ring. Wow, it is so white. Wow, I am just mind blown that I was able to demold that so quick. I do see some little spots on there. I don't know if it's picking up on camera. I'm not really sure what that is from. It could be that I didn't stir it enough and those could be little clumps of Hydrostone. I don't know, but so far I am really impressed with this. I mean, I'm just still mind blown that I was able to demold that so quick, because that just, it almost felt unnatural walking back out here to demold it, because I was thinking I just poured it, but here we are. That is awesome. All right, it has been about an hour since I demolded the vessel, and it is looking so pretty. It's so white, which is definitely way different than cement all. Oh, I have one here just so we can do a comparison. So these are my normal jars that I have. And as you can see, they are definitely more gray than the Hydrostone. So I love that. I also noticed that there are a lot less bubbles with the Hydrostone, which is awesome. And it was just so much easier to work with. I mean, you guys saw how smooth it was to pour that and how easy it was to mix. So I am very impressed with this stuff, and I can't wait to pour a candle in it and test it that way and see how it performs. Now, when it comes to sealing your Hydrostone vessels, you guys know that I absolutely love Earth Safe Finishes products. I've used them for years, ever since I started this concrete vessel journey. And Nancy has actually formulated a quick dip specifically for Hydrostone products. So this is called the Hydro Dip, and this will be available starting October 1st. Now, if you already have the regular quick dip, you certainly can use that on Hydrostone products. You just might need to do an extra dip or two, since Hydrostone is more porous than cementol. So again, this will be available October 1st. And when that vessel is ready to be sealed and have a candle poured in it, I'll try to make a quick video demonstrating that for you guys. So be on the lookout for that. And with that, I am going to end this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.